So Xing Hui has a question. Good morning, Shifu. Good morning, everyone. I would like to ask a question. Was there any Buddha teachings about maintaining good physical health? Example, doing exercise. uh, uh, this is very interesting. By and large, no. Yeah, by and large, no. But in the Buddha's time, there was this person called Jivaka. Yeah, in Chinese, we translate as Qi Po. Qi Po. And he was a doctor. Yeah, a rather famous doctor. And he was very, what do you call it? As he's very renowned for his skills. So, but he was also very special in the sense that he served only the king initially. Then when the Buddha came about, he extended his services to the Buddha and the monks. So he only served three groups of people: the king, the Buddha, and the monks. But he's so good that there are some people who, in order to get treated by him, ordain themselves, go and get ordained, become a monk, then get treated. Then after they are well, they disrobe. From what I remember, as a result, so he went to tell the Buddha, and then the Buddha told, and he told the Buddha what was happening. That so apparently there are people who ordain just to come and see the doctor, you know. Yeah, so please, out of compassion for those who really want to ordain, like do some screening, you know. Don't just let anybody who want to ordain come and ordain. Yeah, so in our pre-screening for ordination, there's a question of, do you have some some illnesses? Yeah, very interesting. And then there are other incidences pertaining to physical health and doing exercises. Yeah, there are teachings pertaining to maintaining good physical health. Yeah. First of all, if a person is not well, you should see a doctor. Yeah. If you don't see the doctor, it's a wrongdoing. If you see the doctor and then you're given prescription and you don't take the prescription, it's another wrongdoing. Yeah. Beyond that, then one could also say that eating in moderation, which is the Buddha's advice, is also conducive for physical health. Yeah, I remember that in the Chinese text, the Buddha is quoted to have highlighted the benefits of taking porridge in the morning. I think the porridge is more like the milk rice in the Buddha's time. It's not our chop. Because I think different culture, we cook it differently. Yeah, so it's more like the milk rice, like the one that was offered by Lady Sujata. Yeah, so the Buddha is quoted to have said that taking milk rice in the morning, yeah, is good for the health in various ways. Yeah, it quenches the thirst, it gives you energy, and so on and so forth. Yeah, but pertaining to doing exercise, the Buddha didn't on his own summon the monks and say, okay, today I'll teach you 5 BX. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. No. So you never see a statue of the Buddha in this position. Yeah. But Dr. Jivaka ever went to see the Buddha about this. And he was supposed to have told him that your monks are not very healthy. They are not getting enough physical movement. And this was in consideration that the monks in the past go for alms round every day. Yeah. So when we say they go for alms round, it's not like from one temple they walk out, walk 5 minutes to the market. Yeah. It is that they would they usually stay some distance away from the village, yeah, or town or city. Yeah, usually it's outside. Usually, in some cases, you see that they stay over in the townhouse on invitation by the people in the town, because they build a new town hall, and they invite the Buddha and the monks to stay over for the first night. Yeah, to offer them lodging for the first night. Then in some cases, they walk to some villages and then they stay over uh, when it's really late. Yeah. So some people offer them to stay over at the shed in their premise. Yeah. So it is allowed. And despite all that walking, yeah, the Dr. Jipaka actually told the Buddha that the monk's health is not so good because they are not having enough physical activity. Yeah. I don't think the specific term like doing exercise was highlighted. It's more that they're not having enough physical activities. Yeah, because usually they'll be doing sitting, walking, sitting, walking. Yeah, that's the only two things they do. Oh, Alex says, my apologies for taking up something wrong, taking up everyone's time, something wrong with my mic connection. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no problem. It's okay. Yeah, so this was highlighted. Yeah. But I don't recall the Buddha instituting any mandatory physical exercise. Yeah. So today in modern society, right, pertaining exercise, there's a bit of contention between within the Buddhist community. There are some students who ask me, Sifu, do you do exercise? Are you allowed to do exercise? They're concerned for my health. Yeah, as many devotees are for the health of their teacher, right? Because how many times do you see monks in the gym running? Yeah, how many times do you see monks in the park running? Yeah, doing exercises? Rarely. Yeah, if ever, right? Perhaps partly because even if they do it in a temple, yeah. But there are specific rules that says that a monk, and for that matter, a nun, we shouldn't be seen running around. Yeah, 范威仪. Yeah, so our deportment should be composed. Even when we are moving from point A to point B, we should be almost like gliding over. Yeah, we should be walking very calmly, yeah, in a measured manner, and our eyes should not be looking left and right. We should be just about maybe 2 meters ahead of us. Yeah. So if a monk is seen running around, yeah, then it gives people the impression, I thought only lay people rush around. You see all the monks also rushing around. But of course, we know that running in modern times is a form of exercise, but there's such a rule. Then how? So in some communities, they say, as a result, no running. Then in some communities, they say, but that was pertaining to why the person is running. Now, when you run for exercise, it's okay. So there are some communities that allow the monks to do running exercises. Some don't. Then there's one pertaining the monks sort of like playing in the water, yeah, playing in the river, yeah, splashing water and things like that. So the Chinese, so in the text there is this thing about not playing in the water. I won't go into the specific. Then how? Right? Because in the Buddha's time, even until now, I think, even until now, water is scarce in many parts of the world. Yeah. So to play in the water, then that is something not becoming. Yeah, because to make use of water resource, it must be for a good purpose. Yeah. In fact, there's a rule that says that we can bathe once every 2 weeks. Yeah, unless you're in the central region or something, or unless it's the raining season and so on and so forth. Yeah. So, but that most people today will say that is the societal norm because water is scarce. But now in modern society, you have access to tap water. You can bathe every day. Yeah. So as a result, then some communities say cannot swim. That's considered 戏水. And some say, but that is different. Yeah, so some say can swim. Yeah. So doing exercise has this issue. Yeah. But exercise is very broad, right? Playing table tennis, is it a form of exercise? It's a sports mark, so can be considered an exercise, right? So in our monastery in US, there's actually a table tennis table, and I've seen my ordination teacher play ping pong before. but don't be, you see, easy for people to hear that, then they then start to think, wow, Lao和尚whole day just playing table tennis. In my time there, I only seen him play like that one time. And it was more like just, and then after that, like, I don't know how many strokes, then okay, done. Yeah. And actually, even in the few years I was there, I don't really see the monks playing the table tennis also. Yeah. So most of the time we walk around the mountain. Yeah, we'll just go for walks. Yeah, to move. In the Chinese Mahayana Zen tradition, and subsequently, I think this tradition went, this practice went down to the Korean and Japanese also, which is called Pao Xiang. Yeah, literally means running incense, but it doesn't mean that you take incense and run around. Yeah, but it means that because last time they used the incense as a timekeeper. So Pao Xiang means that for that one duration you run around. Yeah, but it's not just 2.4 run. Yeah, it's supposed to for one, develop your concentration also. Yeah. So when they run in concentric circle and at quite a fast pace. And it's not like you got the track and field, so you really have to focus, otherwise you're going to bash into somebody. Yeah. Besides that, it is also because in the Chinese tradition, they tend to sit for rather long hours. So it's to circulate, yeah, to help the body to have some blood circulation. Yeah. And then after that, you can do sitting better. Yeah. But in the Theravadan tradition, then the walking, right, is in the very slow pace. So the different traditions develop it slightly differently. So that's all I can remember as far as exercise is concerned. Yeah. Any concern for my health? Yeah. So a few months ago, I went for a medical check. It's a irregular routine check. It's a routine check because it's just another standard medical check. It's irregular because I don't really go regularly. Yeah, some students say, it's full, you're not young anymore. I should go every once a year or at least once every 2 years. The last time I did prior to the recent one was maybe like 5 years ago in 2016. Yeah, but the results is more or less still the same. The doctors always look at my results. And when I ask them, how, am I okay? And the doctors usually say, you're healthier than me. Yeah, so by and large, still okay. Still okay. Any concerns, Xinhui, about health pertaining to the
no, I was just thinking because when we do meditation, you do mindfulness practice, is a lot more on mental and spiritual well-being. So I'm just wondering and also diet, right? As you has mentioned, like, oh, don't eat too much and don't eat beyond certain hours.
Yep.
But I'm just wondering, then how about the physical exercise component? Whether there's anything. Yeah.
I see. Yeah. When you go strictly into the teachings, there's scarcely any mention of that. Yeah. But like for example, the Zen tradition, like Fa Gu San, then they have the Ba Si Chan or something. I can't remember the exact term, but they have a set of prescribed exercises for you to do, yeah, between the sits. Oh. And again, Theravada, no, bo, yeah, in the Theravada tradition, no, yeah. Oh.
Sorry, Sifu. So then when, in the show, whenever they show the Shaolin Kung Fu is nothing to do with Buddhism, one, is it?
Yeah. That one has nothing to do with Buddhism. That one is said to have been taught by Bodhidharma to help the monks be healthy. Yeah, but it's not found inside the scriptures. Yeah, and Jolene added, for the Tibetan practice, doing daily 35 bodhisattvas long prostration is also a form of exercise while purifying the mind. Yeah, and then this reminds me, Guanyin Canling, the Jiwen Fa's place, his center, is under the Korean tradition, right? So they do 108 prostrations every morning. Yeah, 108. Yeah, so some of my students, the youth, they went to Korea for a retreat. And then after that, they started, or rather they went to Guanyin Canling to meditate there. And then after that went to Korea. And in Korea, they also do that every morning. They do 108 prostration for people. And then they were like, after the retreats and after going there, they came back and they shared with me, wow, Sifu, the Lao Pusa and Jiwen Fashi quite old already. Wow, he do my students, they are in their 20s. They say they do 10 over, 20 over, peng san. Then you see the Lao Pusa, all the elderly devotees, and then Jiwen Fashi, okay, done. Yeah. So so the bottom line is that in the teachings itself, somehow there's no direct mention of doing exercises to keep fit. But within specific traditions, some of these practices develop as well. So I can't say how or why this was the case, but maybe in the Buddha's time they were relatively healthy. I don't know. Some say that. I think in between somebody else asked, Venice, Venice, where is Venice? Venice asked, what is freedom and independence? Independent from which aspect of Buddha's teaching we can achieve it? I suppose you are referring to freedom and independence. Yeah, freedom. This is a Dharma talk by itself. Okay, let me try to give you a short 5 minutes of it. So in modern society, we value freedom, especially in the West. Not that we don't value freedom in Asia, we value freedom also, but our sense of communal living and communal responsibility, civic consciousness is perhaps of a different priority. So while we value freedom, we also value our relation with others. So we are willing to sort of, in a way, give up part of our freedom to maintain good, harmonious relationship with others, to the point where sometimes we do it unconsciously without even thinking that we are losing our freedom. Whereas for other societies, such as the West, their personal freedom may be deemed more important by some. So, but in both cases, when we talk about freedom, it's simply freedom to do what you want to do, to say what you want to say, and to think what you want to think. basically body, speech, and mind. Yeah. And this is the topic I've shared in many cases already. And the thing I want to highlight is that is one form of freedom. That's true. But there's another kind of freedom that is that we can see being taught by the Buddha, which is the freedom to be happy, the freedom to be free of suffering. Like, for example, if you get to do what you want to do, are you happy? Of course you're happy. But if you don't get to do what you want to do, are you happy? Maybe not so happy. Yeah. We're not saying that you will be unhappy for the rest of your life, but at least for a short time, yeah, and depending on the individuals, the intensity. So then the question is, are you free to feel the way you want to feel? Such that even when you get to do what you want to do, or not get to do what you want to do, get to say or not what you want to say, get to think what you want to think, can you still be able to feel how you want to feel, to be happy or not happy? From the Buddhist teaching, we see that this is a more important freedom. Yeah, the freedom from suffering. Yeah. Also in Buddhist teaching, we emphasize more on this. Then how to, this is just in brief. For more information, go and search YouTube for the talk on it. So which aspect of Buddha's teaching we can achieve it? Yeah. So from which aspect of the Buddha's teaching? Various parts. Yeah. So for example, the practice of precepts oftentimes is seen as a restriction. Right? In a way, it's a form. Yeah. Because it trains us to recognize that we don't always have to act on what we want to do. Yeah, and still be okay. Mosquito come, yeah, we feel like killing it. Yeah, we have the urge. Yeah, but then after learning the precepts and after learning the teachings, we learn that no, it's okay. We don't have to kill it as well. Yeah, we just have to shoo it away. Yeah, we can also buy a mosquito net. There are many ways to solve the problem. Yeah, as they say, many ways to skin the cat. Don't go and skin cats. Yeah. Also, most importantly, is the recognition that to understand ourselves. Yeah, that this mind and body, to understand the way it truly is. Yeah. In particular, as I mentioned before, our emotions and thoughts in modern society is something that really becomes a plague. Yeah, that a lot of people are plagued by their emotions and their thoughts. That they live their life run by their emotions and thoughts. How they feel, they act. How they think, they act. Then you're in trouble. Then you're in trouble. Because emotions is very transient. Our thoughts is also very transient. Thoughts includes like your decisions. Yeah. Today you decide in this way, tomorrow you decide in that way. But when we decide on something, we feel like if we get to have our decisions take place, that means people go along with your decisions, then you're happy. If they don't, if they oppose your decision, wow, you're so upset. But then think about it. Over the course of our life, our decisions keep changing. Today you decide this way, tomorrow maybe you change your mind. Yesterday you decide, today you change your mind, right? What happened when we change our mind? It's okay, we change our mind. But when people so-called change their mind, we are not okay. When our decision today is different from yesterday, it's okay. I have a right to change my mind. But when people's decision is different from ours, how can you have a different decision, then see how the then we are not happy. So in the end, the irony is in our pursuit of freedom to do what we want to do, to say what we want to say, to think what we want to think in terms of decision, whatever, yeah, emotions, and so on and so forth, we end up losing our most important freedom, freedom from suffering. Oh. Ariel. Ariel is very interesting. Ariel told me that she's hey, Ariel, are you still a Christian? Then why are you still using your Christian name? Not that I'm against it, but because previously her email was Li Ying San. Then after a while, then she changed it back to Ariel Constant Share. While names has no substance, and again, she had a tendency to keep on switching on and off her webcam. Anyway, let me just look at the question. But Bodhidharma taught martial arts to Chinese monks because he felt that they are too weak for meditation. I read somewhere on the internet. Don't know if it's true. Yeah, I also don't know. Yeah, but the question earlier was not whether he taught or not. The question was whether it's found in the teachings. Yeah, Bodhidharma is not representative of the teachings. Yeah, I think you missed out what I mentioned earlier. That Bodhidharma did teach the monks for the health, but that the martial arts things are actually it started off more like a form of exercises. Yeah, from what I know. Then it evolved and developed. Yeah, but those whatever was taught as far as the martial arts or the exercises were concerned is not found in the teachings. Yeah, that was the point. You know, the funny thing about this Ling, so she turned on and off, then the name sometimes put a dot. So the other time I told them, you keep on doing that, you know, take her out. Then after she said, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, just don't do this. Just don't do this. Yeah, what's so difficult about just leaving the camera on, put your phone down, don't keep on moving. It's like, you're not 5-year-old now. I mean, I'm like that. You do stupid things like that, I'm going to tell you off. Yeah. Now the trouble nowadays is we are very thin-skinned. Yeah. I feel hurt or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, it's a very strange thing because if you don't identify with if you don't consider yourself a Christian anymore, then maybe you should just use a Chinese name. I mean, Ariel Constantia wasn't given by our parents, right? So why are you not proud to use your own name? But anyway, let me see what others have to ask. But what if the emotions and thoughts are from another entity? So I have met many people who tell me that they have thoughts, they can hear that the thoughts, yeah, they hear voices from this and that sources and so on and so forth. This is what I will say. As I've said before many times, I'll say it again. Number one, if someone tell me that you hear voices and it's from source A, B, C, that you can hear voices of other people, that you can hear the thoughts of other people, or it's from the Buddha talking to you, or from God talking to you, or from the devil talking to you, from this devil, that devil, whatever, it's okay. If you say that that's the case, who am I to say it's not true? I can't read your, I mean, up to this point, nobody can firmly say I know what is in your thoughts. And even if they can, you deny it, how can they prove that you are telling the truth or they're telling a lie, right? So I always tell people, if you tell me that that's the case, okay, I'll take a word for it. The question is, what is the objective outcome? Yeah, what is the objective outcome? When we hear voices, let's say the voice say, go and eat pizza. Okay? Or the voice tell you, go and bathe. You stink, go and bathe. It's just like your mom telling you, go and bathe. If the voice tell you, go and make your bed, do you notice that those people who hear voices, they almost never hear voices telling them to go and do their work. They never hear voices saying, go and donate to charity. They never hear voices saying, clean up your room lah. Oh, very interesting. So sidetrack. Okay, we'll come back to this again. The point here is that whether the voice is a real voice from your mom telling you to clean your room or not, yeah, to go and bathe, you have a right to decide whether you want to follow your mom's instruction or you want to follow this voice, right? How many times your mom tell you to do something you do? And or how many times your mom tell you to do something you don't do? Like in this instance, Li, do you follow every single instruction from your mom or your dad?
No.
No, right? So what does it tell us? It tells us that all of us are able to make our own decision. Whether it's right or wrong, let's leave that alone first. First thing is, we can decide for ourselves. Think about it. If you compare two voices, one is from a physical person that you can see, who can possibly slap you. Your mom can slap you, ma. Yeah. Your mom can drive you out of the house and you'll be homeless, right? Your mom, you're above 21, right? Yeah. So imagine when you're a teenager, your mom can send you to the home, you know, but yet we are able to say, send me lah. I don't do, not that you do that, but I mean, there are a lot of teenagers who are like that. And yet, then you compare with a voice that is dismembered, that is without a physical entity. Why should we listen to this one? If we can choose not to listen to our mother. It's that simple. Oh, but Shifu, this voice is always that. Oh, you haven't met my mom. No, I'm just kidding. My mom is actually not like that. My mom is not naggy. My mom is very steady. She tell you once, she tell you twice. Usually she don't tell you third time. Because third time means she come with a cane already. she don't tolerate nonsense like that. Yeah. She's not like those mother. I'm not saying that that kind of mother is not good, but you know, different people handle differently. I have talked to one mother. She told me that, oh, Shifu, how do I deal with how do I handle my child? So I sat down with her, write down the notes, ask her everything. So I asked her, how many times do you tell your son to go and do his laundry or clean up his room? So he said many times. I said, one time? He said, no lah, more. 2 times, 3 times? More. I'm like, huh? More than 3 times. 10 times? Then he's like, yeah, maybe 10 times. I'm like, 10 times. So I wrote down 10 times. Then after that, so after 10 times, does he do it? He said, no. Sometimes still don't do it. Then what happened? Then I tell my husband. Oh, tell husband. Then husband go down on the son, then the son will do it. So I draw out the whole flow chart. And then I say, okay, any other possibility? He said, then she said, well, if I don't tell my husband, then I can do it, lor. So I told her, I said, that being the case, then that's the problem, isn't it? Because your son get away with you telling him not to do and he not doing it? Similarly, you got to test it out. Yeah. Ariel or Lee or whoever, if you think that your thoughts and emotions are from another entity, try it out. See what happens. Yeah. The thoughts tell you, go and wash the dishes. Don't wash. Yeah. Say it out. I don't wash, so eat meat. Yeah. If the thoughts tell you, go and wash the dishes, and you don't wash, and the dishes fly, like in the movie Exorcist or Amityville or what, the dishes float up in the sky, and then you scream, and then your parents come out. What happened? Then you say, did you see the dishes? And you turn around, everything okay. Wow. Oh, then we can talk further lah. Then I go and chant 大悲咒. but if because I don't know what will happen, right? If nothing happens, then just treat it like that mother who just nag. Nothing happened, just right. If the mother nag, but there are no consequences if you don't do, then why should you do anything? Imagine if you drive a car, you park. Nowadays, auto gate. But last time you had to tear coupon, right? Imagine if the parking warden, the car park warden would come over and then just nag at you. Let's say, let me find one. Let's say we say Vicky. I must find someone that I know better. Otherwise, later get. And also, I think Vicky can take it. So let's say Vicky forgot to put coupon. Then parking warden come. Hey, mister. Hey, last week I just told you, right? Must put coupon. Why every time don't put coupon? Must put coupon, okay? Yeah, must remember that. Do you think that will work? That will not work. That's why parking warden come in. But even then, parking wardens usually quite nice. Yeah, they walk around, they keep walking around, then they start, after a while, they give you some allowance. They don't want to just come in and yeah. So what does that tell you? Yeah. If there are no consequences, then you can just ignore it. Even more importantly, so that this is one part of it. The other part is, what is the content of the voice, of the message? If the message is, buy this 4D, and you ignore it, and the 4D come out. One time, maybe it's a fluke. Second time, it happens. Oh, then you must watch out. Third time, maybe you try. But don't put your whole savings, CPF, all draw, and then put it in. Yeah, buy $10 first, see what happens. I mean, no harm trying. I'm not encouraging, just disclaimer, I'm not encouraging people to buy 4D. This is just as an example, okay? So, bottom line, you hear voices, if you think it's from some external entity, Buddha wouldn't do this kind of thing. Buddha Bodhisattvas, nothing better to do, come and talk to you through voices. No, not so jialat one. So first, know that you can decide whether you want to follow the voice, follow emotions or not. Yeah. Second, even more importantly, you have to ask yourself, what is the voice compelling you to do? Is it for your well-being or not? Perhaps, and then one more part is, if you don't follow, are there consequences, objective consequences? Not that, oh, you feel afraid, that's your reaction. That's not an objective consequence. A lot of people mix this up. Objective consequence means, 师父, you see, my arm disappeared. My arm just disappeared. I show you, boom, disappeared. Oh, then okay, like, 我们一起念大悲咒. You see, my hand just, you know, those Western ghost movie. I tell you, there was a case who visited me in the Buddhist library, and then he tell me even more complicated things than this. He told me that he does a spirit and whatever. And then he suddenly go into, he started to go, and then I just sat there and looked at him. And then maybe about 5-10 minutes. And after that, I told him, I said, if that's all there is, then it's okay. Yeah. Unless you suddenly float up in the sky. I have a high bar for spirits. You need to do a lot to convince me that you are a spirit. You just like that. No. You must be able to make things fly. Yeah, that person was very serious about it. But I told him, yeah, I believe you. But if the result is only that you feel, like there's a presence, that's all there is. Deal with it, man. Yeah, it's okay. I only deal with objective outcome. Objective means it's not your perception, it's not how you feel, something external, really external. Actually, a few years ago, I got involuntary tremors after a ritual. Happened again, another time in my sleep. Started crying for no reason, but I felt detached from my crying. Now, don't really have. These are still not objective outcome. These are still not objective. This can be psychosomatic. Yeah. When you are angry, your heart rate also go up. So our mind, our emotional state can affect our physical state, but it's still not, to me, it's still not an objective outcome because part of it is your reaction. Okay, you don't have to agree with me. Okay, but if you think that itself is proof that there is some spirit, then you need to find people who agree with this to help you. Yeah. So let me know if you start to see chairs flying around. Okay. Other than that, voices. I don't want to be condescending and say, it's just your thoughts. Okay, although I do feel that way. Okay, but to me, whether it's your thoughts or your voice or your mother's voice, again, always ask yourself, if you can ignore your mother, who is one of the most precious person in the whole life, then why can't you just ignore some external entity, especially if they cannot do anything else to you anyway? Yeah, we give too much credit to voices in our mind. We give too much credit to our emotions. This is the problem with modern society. We are too attached to our emotions, too attached to what goes on in our thoughts, to the point where even when the thoughts is detrimental to our well-being, we still take it to be so, yeah. You got to learn to make that, distinction. OK， 愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿消三障除烦恼，
愿得智慧真明了，
愿得智慧真明了，
不愿罪障悉消除，
不愿罪障悉消除，
世世常行菩萨道。
世世常行菩萨道。
阿弥陀佛。
阿弥陀佛。
Till we meet again, may be guided and protected by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And as always,
乖乖。
So exercise for this new week, no harsh speech. Yeah, check ourselves for harsh speech. And the last note, if we really feel that we are having spiritual disturbances, in the Buddhist teaching, observing the precepts is a protection. Yeah, keeping your body, your priority in your precepts, that's a protection against external spirits. Yeah, not that there are none, as I said, not that there are none. Yeah, but there must be objective. Okay. Yeah, have a disturbance-free day ahead. All right, take care, stay safe.
Thank you, Shifu.
Thank you, Shifu.
Shifu, there's SGC this afternoon.
Thank you.
Yes, there's SGC online this afternoon. So see you all online later. We'll post out the Facebook link and the Zoom link. So do join us on Zoom. All right. Take care. See you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you，师傅。
谢谢师傅，拜拜，师傅。
Take care.
拜，师傅，拜拜。
拜拜，
Bye, Lama.
拜拜。
拜。
Bye, everyone.